Hey folks, this is Jamie Oikle from runningrestaurants.com. We're here in late March in the middle of COVID-19 craziness. Right now, the options for restaurants limited to curbside takeout, delivery, pretty much it. We've covered some tips on the site on how to get that right, so feel free to take a look at there. But one additional aspect we're going to talk about today is getting the word out quickly, easily getting folks to do their orders with you. So joining me to talk about that is Vlad Edelman, CEO of Targetable, which is an innovative digital marketing platform. Vlad, welcome. Unprecedented times. Normally I'd like to cover a lot of different topics with you, but let's try to stay a little bit short and sweet for restaurants today. What do they need to know right now about easily getting the word out? What do you think?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. And like you said, it's quite a time, and especially for our restaurant clients right now. A lot of them are operating in very different models, and that means a lot of adjustments really fast for people to reoperationalize businesses that they didn't have before, right? And so, what we're telling our customers is keep it short, keep it sweet, and kind of keep it moving. Right, because I'm sure you've gotten a overwhelming amount of emails and text messages and whatnot to your communication devices from restaurants and other places that are trying to function in spite of the very negative atmosphere. But the problem is a lot are not making the changes necessary to be functional in this new environment. So a lot are taking photos or copies of their existing menu, which has 35, 40, 50 things on it, and trying to essentially function as a full service restaurant while at the margins of a curbside or a delivery business. And so first things we tell is, hey, get that menu simple, get that menu short, winnow it down to 3 or 4 of your most popular dishes, and don't try to do more than you can. It's going to be hard enough to do all the other pieces of the business without also worrying about things that are too perishable for a takeout business, things that are too bruisable for delivery and getting knocked around in vehicles. Shop around for the best deals from delivery companies. So a lot are running really good deals. This is a great opportunity to test, even for when things do get back to normal, when they get back to normal. Whether that's DoorDash or Uber Eats or anybody else, everybody's running some really great specials to try their service. And then, whatever you do it quickly and don't drag your feet, because, we've definitely seen a few folks who are shocked into immobility, right? And so every day that you don't do something, even 40% or 35% of your gross revenue daily of what it used to be is better than nothing. Right, and it continues to keep your brand and your business in front of customers' eyes. And the last thing I'll say before letting you continue is really that you have to go where the customers' eyes are today, right? And with everybody stuck at home, you and I are stuck in our respective home offices right now. The amount of time people are spending online with digital networks, with Facebook, with Instagram, with Google, is immeasurably more than it's ever been. And so you have to be where everybody else is. And so if you've been kicking the can on your digital properties, your website's a mess, your Google for Business page is a mess, people can't find you, don't know what your phone number is, the mapping is incorrect, now is the time to fix all of that stuff very fast, because that has become the new front end of your business.
Yeah, good stuff there. And I appreciate that. I want to revisit a couple of those points. One you made about the delivery companies, and historically folks have been reluctant to join them if they haven't already, is because of some of the higher fees, 18%, 25%, 30%. And that's not maybe sustainable for a lot of models. I do applaud them for bringing those fees way down, or in some places making them zero to get through this. I do appreciate that. And we'll need to see if that is a sustainable part of the model moving forward. So if you haven't got a delivery, it's one of those things that's, man, I wish I'd done this 6 months ago, right? It's one of those things where, oh my gosh, I should have done that. And so there's a list of those things that we're all learning lessons for, things I should have done to be ready for the unexpected. Same thing with the database list. And I'll ask you this question in a second, but yeah, it would have been great to have an email list of 4,000 people and a text list of 1,000 people and a social media following. Now's not the time to necessarily, start those from scratch. So hopefully those were there. If they're not, to your point, hit the gas pedal hard to get them bigger. Yeah, so you definitely want to take advantage of those. So if folks do have an e-list or social media list or text list, and they're whatever size they are, how can they maximize them and grow them in this time? What do you think?
Well, I think, to your point, there's a lot of, panic right now going on with, people who are trying to fix everything at the same time. And, the advice that I have is really simple, which is focus on one thing at a time and try to really focus on the things that are the most likely to be either impediments to customers finding you or impediments to you finding your customers. And those are two very, very different things. With the things that are impediments to somebody who is looking to find something to eat, and right now, I don't know about your family, but it's a daily exercise right now. The most fun time of the family is figuring out what we're going to eat, who we're going to order from, and that's like the grand event of the day. And so there's a lot of people looking. And so where are they looking? They're looking on Facebook. They're looking on Google. And so if your Google for Business page, for example, is a mess, Google gives you tons of tools to work with to help fix that. You could do that in one night at home, is go through all the Google tools, fix your Google for Business, fix your Google Maps listing, fix your contact information, go through everything that you think is correct or incorrect, and double check and make sure that everything is right. That's on people finding you. The last point on that is really also take advantage of the networks that pre-existed in terms of their reach. And so Facebook and Instagram are by far the largest, players in local digital marketing, period. Bar none, right? We're talking about 60, 70, and in some neighborhoods as far as 85 to 90% of all local digital advertising is flowing through them. They have the eyeballs. And to reach those people, whether you do it through, Facebook Direct, through a platform like us, or through anybody else, you can reach enough people for $30 a day to have it make economic sense. You could reach enough people for $5 a day, right? And so it's really a question of being smart about the targeting and being really smart about your own community and making sure that you're using those digital resources in the most cost-efficient way. A lot of people make a lot of mistakes with that.
Yeah, a couple questions. I'm glad you brought up budget because I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to first go back for a second. Yes, eating together has become, we've never eaten so many meals together as a family in a long time, running around.
Families can't adjust to that.
Yeah, it's weird, and we're getting better at it, and so it is, like, to your point, enjoyable. We are getting to spend more time. So things like that. There's some kind of good that's coming out of this in terms of spending time with folks, but and re-energizing the meal part. Back to your earlier point about limiting your menu, I've seen a lot of success with to exactly what you said. Simple meal deals. This feeds a family of 4. It's $29, and it's shorten your menu, make it easy. So I did want to reiterate that. I've been capturing screenshots on Facebook and emails that I get and other places to look for those examples of folks doing marketing. And I look to share that on the website with folks. But it's a good point about budget, because Facebook, while it's great, is a pain in the neck about you getting your message out there. So you do have to, whether it's boost it or run an ad. And this is not necessarily a time where restaurants want to spend money, but $10 a day, what is a small budget that can get you some eyeballs on those kind of big platforms?
So, and this isn't a sales pitch really. The reason we exist is because Facebook doesn't make it easy, right? If they made it easy, platforms like us wouldn't exist, and we wouldn't be in the business of essentially running ads on Facebook on behalf of restaurants. But in terms of the budgets, it's a good question, because I think a lot of people really don't understand how marketing works, because there's a feeling, and the biggest mistake that our customers make, or new customers that we talk to who are new to our platform make, is they're absolutely amazed at the results that we can get for them for, let's say, a budget of $250 a month, right? And what does that average out to? $10, $15 at most, and so, budgets like that work when you have two things that are really critical to digital marketing. Digital marketing, especially local digital marketing, It's not about the Apple ad. It's not about that big brand building. It's not about launching a new piece of technology. It's about two things only. It's about frequency and it's about consistency. Consistency of message, meaning you're running a simple to understand, direct message. Come in Tuesdays, kids eat free. And frequency means you run it enough times to reach all the possible people who could react to it. And on a daily basis, that could be $35, $40 worth. Literally everybody who is in geographic range of being able to respond to that particular offer can be bought for 30 bucks. Now, when we talk to customers about this and they really start to understand what targeting is and how you optimize and everything else, it's revelatory to many because they have this concept, oh, advertising, marketing, I don't have the money for that. That's big brand stuff. That's big chain stuff. No, it's not. Actually, they do it worse than anybody else because they also don't understand their communities that well. They have giant brands. They find it really hard to be relevant. So the smaller businesses, the independent businesses are really, in many cases, much better equipped and much better armed to be successful, yet they're the least likely to participate in the economy because they're scared of it or they don't understand it or they feel like dipping a toe will obligate them to ungodly amounts of money, and that's not the case.
Right, right. I do echo a lot of those sentiments that if you are nervous to do it, yeah, don't spend $1,000, but spend $10 a day, which to your point is 250 or 300 bucks a month. That's achievable for any restaurant, and I do think they would be surprised with those results. One topic that if you want to get into, do you guys text messaging? Is that obviously everyone's using their phone now and it's going crazy. Do you guys touch text, or what have you seen people do text well in this situation that we're in?
Well, I don't have any data on the situation we're in to the degree of knowing if particular methodologies like text messaging or location-based ads and things like that are better or worse. I mean, I think people are locked in at home, and I think it dovetails into a bigger point that we've been making during this crisis, which is it's easy to let circumstances overwhelm you and excuse behavior that's inexcusable with employees and everybody else. And so, empathy really matters right now. And people in general are really nervous and they're very edgy. And so, services businesses like restaurants have to go even more outside of their norm to be empathetic, to put a nice note in a delivery order that says, hey, we care about your business and thank you for thinking of us. And, it's in the worst of times that, we get tested, about our best qualities. And so if your tendency is to be rude and to be abrasive to your clientele, maybe before that was being excused because your food is fantastic and people were putting up with it, they're not going to in this situation. And so it's really important to really have your best foot forward and to make sure that employees remember that, the ones that are still being employed, remember that their lifeblood is the customers right now, and being cavalier with that is really hard. So to answer your question, text messaging is definitely effective. I would be very careful about overdoing it, over touching somebody, over sending messages right now, because people can't get away from it, right? They're not in their norm. They're not being distracted the way they normally are. They feel trapped. And so if you're overwhelming them with the same message over and over again, you are much more likely to get on their nerves faster than it would have taken them a week to react to too many messages. Now it's going to be hours. And so keep that in mind with any methodology.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Quick thing that, as you were talking, made me think about, I really have appreciated the tone of voice that people are taking on their social posts now versus before it was sell. And they're really using a personalized voice. Hey, we're part of your local community. Hey, we're running this curbside deal. We think it's going to work. Please come down. And they're really using a very likable tone, and they're being very thankful in the next post. Hey, it worked last night. It was great. Thanks for coming out. Hope you can do it again soon. Take that and learn from that approach. I really do think that has been good.
Like that more often, it's almost like you don't want to wish a crisis on anything, but if we could only if we can only remember a small piece of that for when things are normalized, why it takes us a crisis to behave the way we should behave every day is something that is a question for psychologists to answer, but it's really amazing.
Right. Yeah, and it's a good takeaway. So I do want to highlight your offer, and as we close here, I land on your homepage, and it says, "Hey, we're offering our service for 2 months to help out." Talk about that for a sec.
Sure. I mean, we're a month-to-month service to begin with. We really stand on our results, so we don't lock people into contracts or anything like that. And we offer the new offer is essentially that we're donating our platform, typically anywhere between 150 and $300 a month, depending on the size of your chain or store. And what the platform does is very simple. It is an entire advertising agency that's been virtualized into a single platform. So all we need for the restaurant is it's the simplest platform you're ever going to use for marketing, because when you log in with your Facebook credentials of your location, the platform goes out and it builds you a data profile. It pulls in data about your community. It pulls in data about the geography. Are there houses of worship, schools, military bases, sports facilities? And then it literally generates ads that are formatted for Facebook, Instagram, Google, etc., for you to edit or revise whichever way you want. And then you click publish, and it goes out, publishes it to those platforms, and then it monitors them. It does the entire job, soup to nuts, of digital advertising on those local platforms. So if your listeners want to check us out, then we're really here to kind of offer our help over the next couple of months to get people back on their feet. And it's a great time to experiment. To my point earlier, all you're going to have to spend is the media money, right? So, and it's 100% pass through. If you're going to buy $100 worth of ads on Facebook, you'll get $100 worth of ads on Facebook through us. We don't take any toll off that. Mm-hmm. There's no hidden fees or strings attached. So,
got it. Well, hit them with the website then.
www.targetable.com. Definitely check out the word target and then able.
Targetable. Okay. Awesome. Vlad. That's great. A lot of tips here today. I appreciate it. Good stuff, folks. You definitely, if you are doing curbside takeout, you do need to get the word out and do marketing. So folks, that was Vlad Edelman of Targetable. To find out more, please go to their website, which is targetable.com. That is TARGETABLE.com. And make sure you stay tuned to us here at runningrestaurants.com, where we'll be bringing you some more important updates for restaurants during this continued crisis. So we'll see you, folks. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Vlad.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Take care. Good luck to everybody listening.